Hello, everyone. It is Friday morning, Erev Parshas Mishpatim, and like I'm sure all of you, I'm still reeling from the scenes of yesterday, what we read about yesterday, to see the barbaric display of the evil of Hamas, of what was supposed to be the return of the bodies of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir Bibas and Odin Lifshitz, and then the horrifying news that Shiri Bibas's body was not even returned. And our hearts were filled and remain filled with sadness and with shock, with anger and with fury. And our hearts are with the Bibas family, the Lifshitz family, the entire Jewish people. And I encourage everyone, if you don't normally, to take a look at the Shabbos reading and Shabbos song, which are also dedicated to all of these people and what we are thinking and feeling right now. And this Dvar Torah right now also will come back and reflect on some of our current feelings and thoughts that we are holding. In this week's Parsha, there are a number of mitzvos, and most of the mitzvos refer to Bein Adam L'Chavero, interpersonal mitzvos. Many are monetary in nature, and one in particular, the Torah says, Im chabol tachbol samas reyacha, if you take your fellow's garment as a collateral. Rashi, based on the Gemara, explains that we're talking about a situation in which someone owed you money, you lent them money, and they did not pay you back at the agreed upon time. And so at that point, you took, with Basin's permission, a collateral until they would actually supply you with the money. And the Torah says that you are allowed to do that. However, if you take the collateral adbo hashemesh tishivenu lo, you must return it by sunset. This is referring to, the Gemara explains, as if you took as a collateral something, either a garment or something that the person uses to sleep, their bedding or something like that, and therefore you take it every morning as collateral, you hold on to it. However, you must return to the person at night. The opposite would be true if you would take daytime garments. You could hold it at night, but you would have to return it in the daytime so the person can use it, because we're assuming the person is poor. That's why they borrowed the money. They don't have another set of pajamas or bedding or another shirt or pants to wear during the daytime. And even though the person owes you money, you must return it to them. Why? If you don't return the bedding, if you don't return the pajamas, if you don't return the blanket, what will the person use to lie down to go to sleep? And when the person will cry out to me, this poor person, and say, I have nothing, look how poor I am, I don't even have a garment to sleep in. Vishamati kichanunani. Hashem warns the lender, I will hear the person cry out. Even though the person owes you money and hasn't paid you back, I will hear that person's painful cry. For I am gracious, and chas v'shalom, I may hold you account for that person's suffering and pain. Rashi quotes a medrash with a very powerful teaching, which sees in this mitzvah a parallel to how Hashem treats us. The medrash declares that Hashem speaks and says, Kama tachayev li, how much do you, every human being, owe me? Atachoti l'fanai v'amamti l'cha, that even though you sin, I wait for you patiently. Every night, nafshecha ola etzli, every night your soul goes up to heaven. And I judge the person's soul, I judge you, and there is not a day in which you are not somewhat liable. We are never perfect. We always somewhat miss the mark. We always err and sin. And yet, I return your soul every day, every morning, even though you don't deserve it, even though you still really owe me. So to you, even though this person owes you the money, you must return the person's necessary garment or bedding, whatever it may be. For you have one thing, I have one thing of yours. You owe me something, you, every person, your soul. If you don't return the pledge, the collateral to that person, then I may not return your soul to you. First, our Erev Shabbos videos of our Torahs are devoted this year to the concept, the aspect of Avodas Hashem, of Emuna, of faith in Hashem. We can derive so many important lessons from this medrash. First of all, we see what true Emuna is. Emuna is something which is alive, which is powerful, which is emotional, which has color, which is feeling. Emuna is not just an idea, it's not just a philosophical concept, but this medrash, the way the medrash describes a person's belief that our soul goes up to heaven, that Hashem returns our soul to us, that our soul is entrusted in God's hand. It's something alive. It's vivid. We feel it. And it's also something that the Baal Hamuna, the person with faith, feels every morning. Every morning they feel that Hashem has entrusted their soul in them. And that generates a sense of thanksgiving and appreciation. It generates a sense of mission that we owe Hashem, that we have to earn the gift that Hashem gives us every day. And finally, we also see from this how our Emuna, our faith in Hashem, is not only meant to color our Bein Adam L'Makam, not only meant to uh, give meaning to our ritual life, how we serve Hashem through acts of worship. But the way we believe in Hashem should make us better, more sensitive people in how we interact with others. In this case, the way the Medrash understands the Psukim is to say that just as we are to feel that Hashem constantly, every day, returns to us, our soul, even though we don't deserve it, when we feel that mercifulness of Hashem, that graciousness of Hashem, that generosity of Hashem, then we are to act in the same way. The Medrash concludes, that's why the pasuk says, "Vayaki yitzaki life." That poor person will call out to me and say, "But they have not returned to me my garment." The Shamati ki chanunani. I will hear that person, for I am gracious. For that is what I do. I do that every day. I return the souls that are, so to speak, on loan that you really owe me. I return it every day, even if you do not deserve it. And you are to do the same. The more we believe in Hashem, the more we ponder and contemplate Hashem's ways, His merciful ways, then we will be inspired, we will have guidance, we will know how to be better people in how we interact and treat others. Returning to connect this to some of our current thoughts, the Medrash describes Hashem in that Hashem is the one who returns souls. When a soul has been taken, Hashem returns it every morning, and we are to act in a similar way to return that which belongs to other people. And we are davening to Hashem to return the souls, to return in some cases the bodies that have been taken. Hashem claims that every day, every morning, He does this, and we ask Him to do it for all those who are still held captive in Gaza in day 504 of their captivity. And if we need another moment in time to make sure that we do not forget them, to daven for them, perhaps one moment is right when we wake up and when we say Moda'ani. Moda'ani lefanacha melech chai v'kayam, shehachazarta b'nishmasi b'chemla. Hashem, thank you for returning my soul with mercy and pity. We can think exactly at that moment, and Hashem, just as you have returned my soul to its home in my body, may you return the souls that have been snatched from their families, that have been snatched from Israel. May you return them speedily, immediately. This Medrash that I've been reading concludes as follows. Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, ba'olam hazeh, ani hayisi shomea tza'akas yichidi. In this world, Hashem says, the normal way of the world is that, as the pasuk describes, when a poor person, when a person who is experiencing trauma, difficult situations, challenges, ki yitzak elai v'shemati, he or she cries out, and I will hear, and I will listen. However, in the future, in the time of the ultimate redemption of the la'asid, vayaterem yikru v'aniana, even before people cry out for help, I will answer. And similarly, the Medrash concludes, the Navi Yeshayahu declares, Ki am b'tzion yeshev Yerushalayim, for the people of Tzion who dwell in Jerusalem, bacho lo sivka, they will no longer cry. Chanun yachnecha l'kol zakacha, for you, Hashem, you will be chanun, you will be gracious, like our pasuk, Ki chanunani, you will be gracious to the sound of their voice, kishamaso anach, and as soon as you hear it, Hashem, you will answer. There will not even be a moment of crying out, of despair, of sadness or pain, because as soon as the Jewish people open their mouths, Hashem will answer, Hashem will respond, Hashem will save. Bachol lo sivka, and the Jewish people will cry no more. We daven for the fulfillment of that nevuah of Yeshayahu speedily and in our days. Good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom.